Hello, my name is Oliver Spedding. I'm a Lower VIth student and recently I was elected as a school captain for next year. There were 3 stages in the selection process. Firstly, an email was sent to every member of the school so they could vote for who they thought should be school captain. Secondly, all candidates were set an essay to write about whether we believe leadership is a skill or you are born with it. I personally believe it is a skill built through being put in pressurised situations repeatedly until you can construct a method that drives all members of your team forwards. Then finally we were interviewed by various members of the senior management team and the decision was made later that day on who would be awarded as school captain. I think the role of a school captain is to inspire younger students by my actions and my intentions, and I'm very much looking forward to carrying this out next year.
For our DofE, we had to do a lot of walking. The longest we had to walk was around 21 kilometres in one day.
I enjoyed setting up the tents, going on the walk and cooking the food.
My favourite part was when it was very hot and we decided to all go swimming in the river.
My favourite part was spending time with my friends and eating meals all together.
In DT, you were learning about how to use machinery. You were going to learn how products can be made, like how card and wood can be used to make stuff and different materials. You also use CAD and CAM work and much more. There are many trips involved in DT, for example the Rotary competition. This is a competition that you compete against other schools. The aim is to complete a challenge. This year it was trying to get something across a piece of rope, drop off the supplies and then bring your machinery back.
In TT this year, we used CAD technology to help create our products. We use software such as AnyDesk, Fusion and 2D Design. We use these softwares to work out the dimensions and to show our clients the products we are creating beforehand. This also helps us know the cost and aesthetics of our designs, which allows the teachers to know the materials we need to use to create it.
When doing the DTGCSEs, it was amazing to watch the project develop and grow from a simple idea to a fully functioning product. And there was only a few limitations, but there was no real end, only your imagination could stop you. In my mind, doing the DTGCSEs were interesting and fun. I would highly recommend it to anyone to try it out here at Austin Friars.
Further Maths is the hardest A-level, and Zephyr and I really enjoy the challenge. As the classes are so small, we really form close bonds with the teaching staff as well as other students. This was highlighted in my favourite moment in the year, where Mr. Barrowclough asked Irene what she had for breakfast that morning, and she replied with corn. We then all burst out in laughter, while Irene was trying her hardest to explain that corn was a very good breakfast food. The fact that we can all laugh together shows how tight-knit the Further Math class is. I would like to use maths to pursue a future in finance, possibly in investment banking.
My favorite part of Further Math was learning about complex numbers. At first I found them hard, but after lots of help from Mr. Hodgkins, I've become quite good and really enjoy doing the questions. I would also like to pursue a job in finance.
Hello, music at Friars is an integral part of the school spirit. The year starts off with House Shout, which is Mr. Hatchell's highlight of the year. Mr. Hatchell organises many music evenings over the course of the year where various musical groups play, such as Some Strings Attached, Brass Group and Swing Band. Every week on Monday morning assemblies, a member from the school community performs a solo piece, which is often accompanied by Mr. Hatchell. My highlight is when Mr. Hatchell attempts to teach the whole school to sing the song for House Shout.
With physics, when you go in, you learn something, like you learn a topic, you do the maths and figure out how it works. And then when you go outside, you look around and you notice things in like just everyday life, which takes that concept and uses it. So you get a different view of the world when you do physics. And as well, going into engineering after sixth form, looking at aerospace, it's going to help a lot there.
Yeah, so one of the most important parts of my time with Mr. Frizzell was when he told us about his past life. During his time before he was a teacher, he's done a bunch of action-packed things, including how he worked on a project that involved building the city of Lusail in Qatar, and how he also even worked with test pilots to something as extreme as working on every single submarine that used to be in action back then. He worked there to measure the radio waves that were given by the machines in the submarine and measure any irregular ones so they can check if there were any problems there. So after hearing all of these stories, it leads me to really wonder, why did he become a teacher? When I asked him that question, he says he was a bit tired after all the action and he just wanted to wind down a bit and pass on his knowledge.
In Berlin, we met this guy who escaped from the east side of Berlin to the west side of Berlin, and his story was incredible and really interesting.
In Berlin, we took a journey on a coach about 2 hours out of the city to visit the concentration camp, Sachsenhausen, and it was a very surreal experience because we got to actually see where millions of people would have died.
When we went to Berlin, we went to the Spy Museum, which was really interesting to learn about how the West and East spied on each other during the Cold War.
In Berlin, we went around on a lot of trams, and when we went from the west to the east side, even in modern times, you can see the difference in the structure and infrastructure and everything.
My highlight of the year was the Spanish exchange trip to Bilbao, where I spent a week with a Spanish family, which has really helped to improve my Spanish. Ha sido un placer conocer a todos los alumnos de Málaga, Alicante y Bilbao.
The school's production was Austin Fry's highlight for drama within the school. We did the play Little Shop of Horrors, and to start our journey, we did auditions. I found the auditions very organised and personal, as the teachers looked for the strongest abilities. The auditions helped me to step out of my comfort zone and make new friends from all different years. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that I had.
We learnt a lot about how to support each other and communicate efficiently while working in teams or lead roles. If something ever went wrong, there was always a good network of help surrounding everyone.
The backstage team worked as a cohesive unit to ensure that all set changes were done smoothly and quickly. We were in charge of organising the many props and making sure cast members were prompt in their cues, running a tight ship behind the scenes. Many thanks to Mr. Hodgkins for his amazing work in making the set, and Miss Anson for her work in bringing Audrey 2 to life on stage.
In the play, I played the part of a Ronette. We were responsible for much of the singing in the play, which required hours of work, with Mr. Hatchell getting the harmonies just right. One thing I didn't anticipate was the amount of costume changes that this would involve, as I had more than 5 costumes. Despite its challenges, the play was one of the highlights of my year.
We had a multitude of support for our time in the play. Mr. Hatchell, with his limitless musical knowledge, keeping us in check with our harmonies, and Miss Musson bringing her vision to life. Not to mention all of the other teachers working on the sets and tech behind the scenes. Thank you to all, and it was a great play.
We are representing boys sport at Austin Friars. This year for rugby, we've had quite a tough year, but regardless of how tough it's been, we've had quite a lot of success through games, opportunities. It's been a very vast amount of opportunities for us to play. Unfortunately, this year's upper sixth, there's been a lack of students, so making a first team available for everyone's been quite tough. We've probably only had about 20 players maximum throughout the whole first team, so that's probably where the lack of success has come in. But regardless of that, it's been quite a good year for us in general, just bonding as a team, and it's definitely been inclusive for as many people as we can.
It's also created a lot of learning experiences and bonding experiences, as the team have had to work very closely together to try and create success in the sport. We try and be inclusive to the 3 years that play. So we've got a range of players ranging from upper sixth to fifth form, and it's just a really good environment to be in.
We are looking forward to going to South Africa, as it will be competitive and will get us ready for the season and build the team bond. With all the boys going, it will allow for bigger numbers and allow us to be more competitive when we come back to school for the upcoming season against some of the schools that have bigger boys and more numbers and are able to make maybe better first teams than us.
We're also very thankful for the coaching team, as they try and give us the most opportunities to learn and support us every day as we have training sessions throughout the week.
2023 to 2024 house events have been very competitive and have allowed a great sense of community across the year groups. Friars House spirit is the backbone of the school and builds foundation between individuals.
Throughout the 23-24 season, netball has been a growing success. Our sport and family allowing many new players to get involved, our games lessons and training acting as a gateway to new opportunities.
The 2023-24 season has been very successful. It allowed the team to welcome new players and build new bridges. The hockey life at Friars creates morale, leading our opportunities to tour South Africa this summer.
which will allow the new team to create new connections and grow together.
At the beginning of the semester, we learned how to conduct online research and gather relevant information. We also studied many artist styles to inspire our own creations. I thoroughly enjoyed both the creative and learning process.
During the semester, we visited an artist museum where Julia Brooke shared her personal idea with us. Her work explored the relationship between nature and humanity, which sparked many thoughts and reflection in me.
Towards the end of the semester, I spent a lot of time in the art studio working on my project. I was delighted to work on an art-related topic and to offer advice to or help to some of my classmates.